What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video by yours truly. We are finally back from our trip to Japan. There's much to discuss with that, and we will get into that. We'll be going live later on today at twitch.tv/gachasmack as well as YouTube. But y'all know what we're here for. It's the first of the month, Gacha revenue charts. Oh man, our favorite drama of the month. And it shouldn't even be drama. That's the most depressing thing about it. I think this Gacha revenue charts ordeal is always interesting because if you're new to the Gacha scene, if you're ignorant to how toxic the community can be, all you need to do is just go in any content creator's comment section and look at the thousands of comments of people fighting about these numbers. And, you'll come to find out I'm going to be very objective, as I always am with these games, but people are going to find a way to be offended. They have a incredibly toxic and detrimental relationship with these video games. They seem to think that these video games are like their parents. I don't know. It's really weird. Anyways, some very interesting results have shown themselves this month. We're going to be going back to my video. I always love going back to my videos. Why? Because I always cook. I'm always right. And people hate that. They hate that when you're always right. We're going to go back to my video, show some stuff that lines up with the numbers that we see today. Then we're going to give our thoughts about some new information based off of these analytics and statistics. Keep in mind, this is just mobile revenue. This doesn't include PC or console revenue. However, numbers, the intriguing thing about numbers is that they tell a very consistent story. And so if a game or games are downtrending in mobile, I guarantee you they're downtrending in other platforms as well. The percentages may deviate a bit. They may be a bit distinctive, but it's still going to be trending downward. That's just the way numbers work. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So first thing we got to do is it's time to admit it. A new era has come in. All right, there's a new sheriff in town, and it ain't the Coomers. At least not for the waifus. All right, it's a new breed of Coomers. It's a Coomers for the males, right? How many times have we heard people say that males don't sell? This is quite the slap in the face for these people, guys. I mean, what the I have been saying it. Ever since this game showed up. I said it's going to continue to perform. Now, it's been exceeding my expectations. But one thing I like about what they do here is they show both the China revenue and then the global revenue. And something it's crossed my mind here. It's quite fascinating. In fact, it's a bit worrisome. I don't know what the hell's going on. If you're Chinese, maybe you can comment down below. But I'm going to give my own speculative conclusions or thesis based off of what I see here. Love and Deep Space made $55 million. Notice this is China, right? This is split. It's not number one when we combine the revenues, but if we only look at split revenues, it is number one. $55 million came from China. How much came from global? Well, if we come all the way down here, Love and Deep Space made 6 million, a whopping 6 million global, which means its revenue was, I don't even, can we say it was put on its back? Okay. Like it put it on the back. It was like LeBron James when he played with the Cleveland Cavaliers. 90% of its revenue, I would say, came from China. Now, is it numbers, right? True. But what I will tell you here is if China is carrying 90% of your revenue, what's going to happen when another trendy game comes out that China is interested in? If 90% of your revenue is allocated by China, it's not going to look that good. Now, guys, I didn't say that with malicious intent, did I? No, I didn't say that like trying to shit on Love and Deep Space. That's a fair critique. That's a fair possibility to bring up. Watch people find a way to be offended by it. I don't know how it happens. It's just the way it happens. I would say, though, that Love and Deep Space performing absolutely and incredibly well, but it's 90% by China. Now, I want to go back and look at the other months because I want to see what those months look like in terms of China versus global. Okay, just wanted to pull this up. Yep, even the month before, it was similar. 7 million from global, and then we come up here, 38.5 million from China. So it basically appears that Love and Deep Space is being carried by China, which means China is loving these male characters. Global, it's like, it's like not so much. Honkai Star Rail it actually was underwhelming. I think Honkai Star Rail was the most disappointing to me out of all these numbers. Again, Honkai Star Rail is my shit. I love this game. Watch the morons find a way to be offended by this. I was disappointed by this because Honkai Star Rail had the most aggressive gacha patch I think I've ever fucking seen. Ever. It had Fei Xiao. It had Robin, who is the literal best support in the game right now. And then it had Kafka and Black Swan next to them. Then it had good fucking Light Cone. I mean, dude, this patch was insane. If there was a patch to make money, this was the patch to do so. And they only made 67 million. But when we go back and look at Firefly and Acheron, they made $40 million, $130 million. They didn't even scratch 100 million with all of that. And Fei Xiao is an incredible character too. So it was underwhelming to me. I was just like, whoa, what the hell? I was expecting that to go over 100 at least, at the bare minimum, but it did not. Then I noticed the same thing. Global, this is crazy. This is not supposed to happen. Global spent more money than China. China spent less money than Global. This never happens. Same thing happened with Genshin Impact. Global spent more than China. Same thing happened with Zenless Zone Zero. Global spent more than China. What the fuck is going on with China right now? If you're Chinese, I would like to know. I mean, I just, this has never happened. At least not from what I've been doing this for a while now, and I've been looking at these charts for a while. What's going on with China? Is it the fact? Is it another cannibalization scenario? Again, this is not a fact. I'm just asking. Is it another cannibalization scenario? Maybe China's just spending money on Love and Deep Space. Maybe it's spending money on Naruto Mobile and Uma Musume, Pretty Derby. Oh wait, well no, that's just Japan. So never mind, that doesn't count. Why all of a sudden is China's spending going down? Because what normally happens is China will 1.5 to 2x global spending, which makes up a massive portion of revenue when combining them, right? But since they're now spending way less money on the Hoyo games, I guess, or like a couple of games, this is telling me that either they found something else to spend their money on, or maybe, I don't know, I'm ignorant of this. I don't know what the hell's going on in China, but like it's something that just stuck out to me. Okay, now I want to go over to the combined regions because it's a bit more consolidated, easier to go through it. Let's continue on. Genshin Impact went up $3 million. I pulled up their banners because I wanted to know who was in September. It's the Raiden Shogun, who I believe still is the reigning. Wait, never mind. I think, oh girl, I can't remember her name. The new Arkan outsold Raiden, right? Raiden at one point in time was the highest selling character of all time, though. A very popular character. She is that bitch still. So she came back in September. And then this guy, who a lot of people really thought was cool. I think he looks freaking sick as well, but I don't know nothing about what he does. I know he's a cool looking character though. And he's definitely a character that in Genshin's popular days would have sold very well as well. That said, they only went up $3 million with their new region of Natlan. I just want to point out that, man, let's go back a year ago. Yeah, just a year ago. A year ago, these numbers between Honkai Star Rail and Genshin, this would have probably been 120 million, and this probably would have been like 70 to, yeah, I'd say about 70 million probably. So the numbers have come down drastically. Again, I think a strong, it's a fact. China absolutely is a big reason that these numbers have fallen. Are they still impressive? Absolutely. But when we look at the prior numbers, I don't know, it's a bit weird. That said, I think Genshin Impact's Natlan patch, the big sale, has yet to come. But it's not even a question. The Hoyo popularity in terms of how many people were spending money on their games, it's definitely noticeable now. It's not only noticeable, it's significant and substantial. So I don't know what's going on in China, but I look forward to hearing about it eventually down below in the comment section, or maybe when news hits the internet. AFK Journey fell off a cliff, but that's expected, right? It had its debut in, I believe, China and Japan. Correct me if I'm wrong. After that first debut month, of course, hype goes down. This is still actually very impressive for AFK Journey. $34 million. After the hype dies. I was expecting it to fall off even more than that, but that new season, the pirate theme and stuff, it was actually very relatively enjoyable, and I'm playing it casually here and there. So yeah, good for AFK Journey. Zenless Zone Zero. This is the first one we're gonna go back and watch my video on because I quite literally called this shit. I literally called this shit. The amount of people, even content creators included, that were trying to say that Jane Doe was going to change everything, that the only reason that Zenless Zone Zero dropped from 66 down to 30 was because there was one character, and that one character doesn't have any boobs or flamboyancy to their design, and they don't have any curves, they're not thick and busty, whatever the case may be. Xingyi is the only reason that they dropped down to 32 million. I went and bounced back a month prior to these sales and straight the fuck up said, you are an idiot if you think Jane Doe and Caesar are gonna actually shoot them back up to 60 million, 90 million, all that. I said I wouldn't be surprised if it stayed exactly where it is, but I'll give them 40 million tops. Literally said this, let's go and fact check it. If you think Xingyi is the reason why it went to 31, you are a naive fool. If you think that Jane Doe and the other girl that's coming out is gonna shoot Zenless Zone Zero back up to 90 million, I'll put my money where my mouth is. You are a goddamn fool. I assure you, them two characters are not about to shoot Zenless Zone Zero back up to 90 million. It's just not gonna happen. I give them another 10 at most. They might go to 40 million. That's about it. But here's the problem. They're competing with their own fucking company. I don't think you understand how insane that is to like be that accurate. There were people who thought that Jane Doe was gonna like do some record-breaking numbers, that she was gonna change everything. Again, I said this before. I think I said in here, like, bro, Coomer bait ain't as crazy as y'all think it is. Genshin Impact in Hawkeye Star Rail, they dropping nuke bombs very soon, right? Like you got Hawkeye Star Rail coming out with Face Chow on them. These numbers tell me that it's a cannibalization of the same audience. So where do you think that money's gonna go? You think it's gonna go to ZZZ? This is the problem with taking care of the customer in front of you all the time versus acquiring new customers, which ZZZ has tried to do. You can only spend so much money. You can only spend and acquire so much money from the exact same customer. Yeah, and I think that's a real problem with the gacha sphere right now. It's not expanding. It looked like it was at one time. I think it was actually really booming, but I think what's happening is the gacha hype for gacha games is dying down, and a big reason for that is probably because they all keep trying to do the same fucking shit. Nobody's trying to be innovative. Nobody's taking risks and trying to like provide something that nobody else is providing. Except Love and Deep Space. AFK Journey 2 brought its own twist to it, but like Love and Deep Space is the first game I've seen that said we about to do some other stuff over here. You know, we about to bring some shit to the table that you ain't had yet, you ain't tried before. But I think that's what's happening with a lot of these other gacha games, and I think Love and Deep Space in and of itself still has similarities to these other gacha games. And again, so because of that, a new customer isn't necessarily being acquired here. And I think China not spending money on Hoyo games, but spending a shit ton of money on Love and Deep Space is still probably a cannibalization. Oh, hell. I didn't mean to do that. Let's find it. Okay. Yeah, you can increase it a little bit, but, when these guys are going to be playing Genshin Impact, Natlin, they're going to be playing Hawkeye Star Rail, ZZZ is going to drop its update. And that's where you didn't continue to double down even more. Now, they're not just playing that anymore, brother. There's a new sheriff in town, Love and Deep Space. Hell, AFK Journey. You goddamn gacha games, they stepping up. Oh, yo, they on your ass. I'll be honest, I don't see Jane Doe changing the fucking game. I sure didn't. Is she fine? Yeah. But guess what? Jade in Hawkeye Star Rail was fine too. Bitch didn't do shit for Hawkeye Star Rail. Bro, say it one more time for the niggas in the back, bro. I've come to learn people absolutely pull for value over waifus for sure. And I'll be honest, Jane Doe actually had one of the most incredible designs of a character that I've ever seen. Obviously, she was bad as fuck. She had the booty jiggle. She was incredibly provocative, charming. I mean, that girl had it all. But her gameplay, it's like the devs poured their heart and soul in it. She would like do all these extra things just by like moving around and stuff. She felt fun to play. She's also got like that dot synergy in Zenless Zone Zero's version of it, where like with her and Burnish, she's gonna pop off and stuff. There was a lot of things going for her. But why am I right about these things? From day one, I've always seen that ZZZ just doesn't have the juice like Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact. and it's a great game. I'm just saying, like, in terms of the audience it's trying to captivate, I guess, and the direction it's going. I actually said this, I think, on Tech's podcast. It's playing a role on the board it's not a role that's going to put this game in the driver's seat. It's like a supportive role. It's always there to do that little bit of extra input that HSR and Genshin Impact can't do. But hopefully that little bit of extra input is boosting the overall revenue of the company, which right now it doesn't look like that's happening. Because as I told y'all before, if we add in this month, I think this was Honkai Star Rail's best month. No, I'm sorry. It's like a massive month for Honkai Star Rail. And it underperformed significantly, as well as Genshin Impact. And Genshin Impact it's 4 years old. They're at like 130 million profit this month, and that was a massive month for Honkai Star Rail. So it's not looking good for the overall revenue of Hoyoverse when you consider all of that. I would like to put my fucking money where my mouth is. Nobody else does it. If Jane Doe takes ZZZ back up to 60 million, color me fucking impressed. But I bet I'm gonna bank on I wouldn't be surprised if the number stays the exact same. And there you go. All right, sorry, it took a while to get there, but I needed y'all to see that evidence there. So when we come back over here and we look at ZZZ, I said I wouldn't be surprised if the number stayed the exact same. That shit pretty much stayed the exact same, man. And look, the argument of Copers was because it was Ching Yi. It was only one person that month. Guys, it's not, I don't know how many times I have to tell y'all this. Y'all think that banners are the only things that sell these gacha games. It's not just the banner. It's also just what's going on in the update. Do people actually like the game? The story of the game? There's a lot of other variables that go into revenue. It isn't just this character's out, I gotta grab her. It's the hype around it. This entire business model of this genre is comprised, as we always say, of hype and FOMO, timing, anticipation, competitors. A lot of these variables will go into the success of a month for a gacha game. It's literally an amalgamation of all of those variables. And there might even be a little bit more than what I'm saying. But right now, I said it before and I'll say it again. Zenless Zone Zero is competing with its own goddamn company. It's competing with Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. And now it's competing with all these other gacha games. And I swear, gachas have an intrinsic flaw to their design. They are built to give you, and I say this without hating on any of the gacha games, this is the space I'm in. I make my money off of this space, but I'm still gonna keep it a stack. They make their money off giving you a half-assed experience, convincing you that it's a full experience, and then trying to milk you dry for money. And guess what? People eventually catch on to this shit, unless you're an idiot, which there are a lot of idiots in this space. You get offended when I say that? It's the damn truth. There's a lot of idiots. Just look at the comment section and look at them arguing with each other about companies that don't give a fuck about them. I'm proving my point. A lot of people do eventually catch on though, and you know what? They leave, they exit. They find something else to sink their teeth in, to invest in, and so on and so forth. And I think we are actually kind of coming to this breaking point, or this, like, people are starting to finally get the epiphany. They're finally starting to get the wake up call, and they're going, all right, you can see it with these numbers. You know, it might even be time for certain people to pivot. You know, as content creators, it might be time to pivot. Now, me, I love talking about information, and I think I'm pretty damn good at it. I'm always going to find some interesting shit to talk about. But I am really starting to see here a change. It's a change. All right. Just say it, guys. It's a change. America, it's a change. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We got Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. This game always shows up. I'll never understand it. Dragon Ball Z cucks. Listen, guy, I'm a cuck for Dragon Ball Z too. But good Lord, bro. There's no way that game is actually fucking good. All right. That's got to be the money sunk cost fallacy there. All right. Naruto Mobile. It made the exact same money. How the hell did that happen? Only in China too. That's actually very impressive numbers in China. That is. This is the damn game where you're riding girls like horses. Dumbest fucking game out there. I just got back from Japan. I know it's popular in Japan. I'm still gonna look you straight in your eyes and say that's the dumbest fucking shit I ever heard of. Fate Grand Order dropped off a cliff, but that's just how that game goes. This game has constantly proven that it can always make money with the anniversary updates, the costume updates, all kinds of stuff, right? Still actually very impressive figures. Arc Knights, damn, Arc Knights has been popping off, right? I just got back from Japan. I saw Arc Knights in-game in Japan. I think this game might actually continue to perform well because there's actually a lot of people looking forward to it, and I don't know shit about it. Nikkei going down to just 4 million, continuing to hold its position. Okay. And then, yeah, this is what I was looking for. Wuthering Waves came from 13.5 million down to 6.7.5 million. Oh, I can already see the like the Kudo haters like fucking shitting all over this. I mean, I've said what I said. I guess we can go back and take a look at what I said last month. But before we do, if anybody is surprised by this, I genuinely don't know what else to tell you. How are you surprised that it dropped in half when they gave out a free ass character with a guaranteed weapon banner? I genuinely, I'm serious. Like, what did you think it was going to go up? Did you think it was going to like maintain sales? Of course it's going to go down. Going back to the variables I told you about, hype, FOMO, anticipation, and all that shit. When you put all that into a box, I am not surprised. I hate that I didn't predict this, because if I did, I would have said it's going to be cut in half. That's probably what I would have predicted. Sucks that I didn't. Now, what's going to happen next month? That's the more important thing. We're going to go back and look at what I said, but next month, I said this already in my other, you know what, fuck it. Let's go back and watch that, because I'm pretty much going to get ready to tell you, I shouldn't even have to say anything. All that I said is coming into fruition. Let's just go look at it. It made pretty much $70 million in 1 month on mobile platforms, which is actually not that shy from ZZZ's month. And it has a free weapon banner, which is fucking hilarious. So it made 70 million. Honestly, you take away the free weapon banner, it probably would have did the same mobile. I don't know. Yeah, I'll be honest. I think ZZZ and Wuthering Waves are going to in the same. I said this last time too. In the same trend. They're going in the same direction. Who knows? Let's just guess. Who cares? It's been on a downward trend in month 2 and now in month 3. This is obviously not a good look, because this is where it was, and now where the hell's it at? This is where it is, $13.5 million. Now, I predicted this. Actually, I didn't predict that. It went lower than what I predicted. I said it would drop below 20 million. I said it was going to be 19, 18 million. It went to 13.5 million. However, I did predict that it was going to fall off again. The problem with Wuthering Waves right now is that they are not front loading their games patches, which is weird to me. What I mean by that is, like, you would expect them to have some pretty strong and compelling looking characters coming out in those front loaded patches. Now, they did do it with Yinlin and Chang Li, but then after that, they dropped some characters. But then they opened up with goddamn Jian, the most boring character I think I've ever played with in any gacha game. You just pop ult and spam it, that aren't really compelling, or like characters that you would want to pull on. Yeah, Jeje was not that compelling to a lot of people. I loved her, as I've told you before, but she wasn't that compelling to a lot of characters. Same thing, people. Same thing with Qiang Liao, which I think, again, is another incredible character by my taste, but by a lot of people's gacha standards, not that compelling. In 1.3, which I thought that was a bit odd, but this is the thing I will say. We're going to get into the success of the game here in a bit. It seems to me that the Wuthering Waves developers are really doing business for the betterment of their community, as opposed to doing business to maximize a profit. Correct. Which, I'll be honest, that shit is admirable, but it is unfortunate in terms of making money, because they're going to make less money by doing that. Yeah, and that sucks, because what happens right now is you got people in the community. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life, that are ridiculing Wuthering Waves for making less money for doing things that are actually for the betterment of their player base. Like, and when I call these people names, when I say they're Caterpies and Weedles, that they're dumb as shit, they think they have the right to get offended by this. Why would you be offended when you are literally making a mockery of a company trying to do better by you and save you money, to give you an experience and show that they actually do care? I don't know what else to call you, man. I can't call you a genius. I can't call you wise. Idiot's kind of the only thing that comes to my mind. Like, they're looking out for your pockets, and they're getting made fun of for that, which I think is fucking crazy to me. That said, the facts are the facts. This game has continued to drop and drop and drop. This patch isn't the best, but that's not an excuse. It's 1.3, bro. It's not 2.0. It's not 2.8. Wait. That wasn't 1.3. That was 1.2, right? I think I misspoke there. 1.3 is coming, is right now with the Shorekeeper. Yeah, I was waffling, which I hear is an incredible patch. I mean, dude, my Twitter timeline is like riddled with nothing but people meat riding 1.3. They're talking about this like it's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. ZZZ and Wuthering Waves are kind of on the same downward trend based off of what we're seeing here. Yep. But ZZZ looks like it might have a chance to not drop. If it drops down again with Jane Doe, I'm gonna fucking cry laughing. But Wuthering Waves in this dead patch right here, I think what it's telling me is there's no longer a competition between Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, and Honkai Star Rail. There is still a competition between Wuthering Waves and ZZZ. These two companies are still fucking competing with one another. I absolutely agree too. I still think they're still competing with one another. People think that Wuthering Waves, because it dropped to 6 million, that it's no longer competing with ZZZ. ZZZ had a better patch, more driven characters for people to pull on than it did the last patch, and it barely bumped 2 million. That means what's about to happen next? It's going to drop again. Oh yeah, it's going to drop again. And then Shorekeeper being out, which is a great patch, 1.3, people are loving it. It's going to go up again. And you know what's going to happen? That 34 million that ZZZ is at, and that 6 million that Wuthering Waves is at, is going to be like, bing, and they're going to be very close to each other again. Watch, it's going to happen. And then you go up, and then you're gonna have these morons, the Kudo bots and the Hoyo Shields battling next month. Oh, ZZZ, look at ZZZ, it fell down. I thought you said Wuthering Waves was gonna die. What happened now? See, our game's right next to yours. Fucking ridiculous, bro. Absolutely. Month 2, ZZZ did worse than Wuthering Waves month 2 when you look at percentage drop off. So like, what do I think is gonna happen with Wuthering Waves? I think when Shorekeeper drops, people will be shocked to see that Wuthering Waves won't recover back to where it was. Yep. I don't think Shorekeeper is going to bring Wuthering Waves back to 44 million. I don't think it's going to bring it to 30 million. I think 30 million is the highest it could possibly go. But I think Shorekeeper might make Wuthering Waves go from the 6 or 6.7 that it's currently at to like 20 million. I think it'll go up to about 20 million. And I think ZZZ is going to drop next month. I don't think Burnus is going to carry ZZZ. If it already dropped or stayed where it was with Jane Doe and Caesar, yeah, ZZZ is going to drop below 30. That's my prediction. It's going to go down to, it might be right next to Wuthering Waves. They might be neck and neck again. But going back to WoWa, even though a lot more people, I think, play this game, I think it's kind of like refined its identity at this point. I think its identity is going to hover between the 10 and 20 million range of revenue. And for console, or it hadn't came out on console yet, but for PC, it probably brings in similar revenue, honestly. And I think ZZZ is going to be the same type of thing. I think ZZZ and Wuthering Waves can bring in some pretty good revenue for PC. But the good thing about ZZZ is that it's also on console as well as PC. And this is always going to be the annoying thing about these charts, is we never get a chance to look at those other platforms to see how they're performing there. But as I've told you before, if they're all trending downward on mobile, they're trending downward on the other platforms as well. The percentage is just a little bit different. I'll be honest, I think the free weapon banner and their ability to like look out for the betterment of the community is shooting them in the foot in terms of profits, but I think it's going to be a positive for them in the long run. I do want to say this, and that's I just wanted to show you guys that for the receipts. Y'all know me, I always got the receipts on deck. I now want to get into more cooks for Wuthering Waves. So I would like to now add that the other reasons that Wuthering Waves isn't making the money that probably people thought it could make, the other reason that it's falling is it still lacks polish. Still lacks polish, man. There's a lot of still like little janky things in the game that don't feel clean and crisp. I don't know how to explain this to people, but when you play a game and you don't feel that sense of the game having a complete delivery of refinement and polish, it kind of feels like a cheap product to people, and it deters people. It literally inherently deters people when you feel that, when you run into bugs and stuff like that. That's what happened with TOF. And there's no, although nowhere near as bad as TOF, it has those issues. So it lacks a little bit of polish. The second reason, in game is it's boring apart from holograms and IR, elusive realm, right? I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I am literally saying this based off of experience. Tower of Adversity fucking sucks. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, it is an inferior version to Spiral Abyss and Genshin Impact. That is unacceptable. Your game, and here we go, it's gonna happen again. I'm already on their bad side because these dumb fucks defend it against somebody trying to improve the schedule of elusive realm. Like, I literally made a video saying, let's make this better for people to do, right? Elusive realm should be permanent, but if it's not permanent, it should at the very least last to the end of the patch. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a whole nother video. I can't wait to shit on these people. I was in Japan, so I wasn't able to say anything. We're gonna be going live and talking about that shit too. Anyways, the only thing that's fun is hologram and elusive realm. Tower of Adversity fucking sucks. This is what's disappointing and unacceptable. And I say this with zero malice. I say this without any like ill will. I love Wuthering Waves. It's literally between it and Honkai Star Rail, my favorite gacha game. Between that, because I just love the action of it. It's great. I don't really care about the story. The action's fucking amazing. And that's what I like. That's what I thrive on. That's what sparks my passion. Tower of Adversity is so dog shit. And I find that absolutely unacceptable because you were able to watch what the other companies were doing with their games, primarily Genshin. You were able to literally look at what they do and what makes the mode enjoyable, and you still delivered an inferior end game. I just find that, I'm sorry, I can't say anything other than what a fucking disappointment. How do you watch something and then deliver an inferior product? I don't know what else to tell you about that, bro. You know, so that's why I'm severely disappointed. It needs to change. These monsters are, you know, all it is a mode that is incredibly tedious. Sponge fest. It's a fucking sponge fest. 100% a sponge fest. And annoying as shit chasing around enemies. Like, dude, it's just ass. It doesn't feel good. Hologram fights are incredible. They bring out the most positive elements of Wuthering Waves combat in full, and you get to, you know, test and experience the mastery of the characters that you've been utilizing against these mobs. They even throw in cool little things such as the freaking, I forgot the dude's name. Damn it, can't think of his name. But he gives you crit damage boost and damage increase when you dodge. They literally reward you for doing the mechanical intricacies of the game. More shit like that needs to happen. I haven't played the Ghost Rider fight. I really look forward to playing it. Parrying and shit though, like being rewarded for being good is always cool. And they do that very well with their hologram fights. Elusive Realm, the most innovative mode in their game, the roguelike mode, but you are giving it a staggering event schedule, meaning people have to micromanage when this fucking event starts and ends, whereas they should just be like, okay, patch 1.8 begins here and ends here. That means Elusive Realm begins here and ends here. I don't need to know when this fucking this patch is ending separately from when Elusive Realm is ending, right? Here's the thing. If you want people to play your game in mass, the casuals and the people who touch grass, I'll say it again, they don't want to micromanage your game when they're playing multiple games. The dumb fucks are going to say that that's their problem. No, it's not. Because guess what? The company wants them to play the game. That's why you're broke, because you don't understand business. If you want casuals to play your game and grass touchers to play your game too, then make the game more appealing to the casual and the grass toucher. If you don't, they're not going to play your game and your sales are going to go down. So that's why I always say, watch me and they're not watching you dumb fucks, because y'all don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know, community, you know I'm not talking to you. Average viewer, you know I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who try to defend Elusive Realm's garbage ass event scheduling right now. It needs to be permanent. Honkai Star Rail has Simulated Universe, which is literally the equivalent of the Elusive Realm, And every time they add some new shit to it, it is there for people to do whenever they want to do it. This is good for newer players. This is good for returning players. This is good for current players. Whenever I want to do it, I can go and do it. All the rewards are there for me to collect. And that's a good fucking feeling. And that's a good business model for gamers. If you refute this, you're a weedle. Period. You're not worth an opinion. You're not worth listening to. You won't have it on my platform. I double down on that. I triple down on that. We're going to stand on that every single time. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This is the problem. Lacks polish, in-game's boring, tower adversity fucking sucks, tedious, sponge fest, annoying, and lacks characters. I'll be honest, man, it's not a lot of characters. We're in 1.3, they're already rerunning Gion. If there's one thing we could learn from Honkai Star Rail, you need more characters, man. Okay, characters do absolutely drive sales. This is not a contradiction to what I was saying earlier. But a dumb fuck will think that. I'm sorry, guys. I always have to like reinforce this. It's through experience. Me saying it lacks characters and saying that characters drive sales. There's an idiot that's going to come to the comment section saying that I'm contradicting myself because earlier I just said that selling characters is not the only way to make money. So they straw man it and they say, so you're saying that characters don't sell? That's like, the intelligence is insane. Wuthering Waves definitely needs more characters and they need to start, I don't know, hire some more designers, get some more models going, hire some more people, but characters absolutely do sell on top of everything else. And you are, lacking in 4-star characters, 5-star characters, it's just that is a part of the hype. We need more of that. And damn it, this freaking light is traumatizing me, bro. We're back. Anyways, get some more characters going. The final thing I will say is we need more music. And maybe they added that in 1.3. I don't know. But right now, your music in your game, which was crazy because I remember your community praising, the Kudo community praised this game's music, saying it was like the best music ever. Your music is incredibly fucking boring. You've got some boss fights that go hard as shit, right? But that does not represent the entirety of Wuthering Waves music. I hear the exact same background song in every single dialogue, and every single monologue. It's that incredibly boring doom, 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 doom. It's like depressing at times, we need more of that. And that does affect somebody's ability to consume your content. Some more music up in there, man. So, and I want to be clear here. Y'all know why I'm going so hard on Wuthering Waves? Because as I told you, I actually love the shit out of this game. No other game is getting the treatment of feedback that Gacha Smack is giving Wuthering Waves. Why? Because this is a game I actually want to do very good. I think it's got the best potential out of all the games, but it's just not doing things in a way that can benefit the game. But they're trying. These devs do listen. They are putting in certain updates. They are trying to, they're trying to fix it in the best of their capabilities. I don't know everything that's going on, but there's a lot more that could be done. If I had to put another one in there, I think their marketing could be a bit better. Me and Volk talk about this all the time, but dude, just literally, if you're gonna copy anything from Hoyo, copy Hoyo marketing. All right, copy Hoyo marketing 1-to-1, and I think you're fucking good. That said, that's all my thoughts for the big games. I do want to say it is insane that Reverse 1999 outsold Wuthering Waves this month. That is crazy. Fucking big W for Reverse 1999. Keep doing y'all's thing, man. Y'all, for Reverse 1999, I think was my very first sponsorship. Yep. That game will always have a special place in my heart. That was the first sponsorship I ever received, guys. Fun fact. Snowbreak Containment Zone, maintaining a good little maintaining its presence there. That's cool. Honkai Impact III. What the hell? Probably because of the mention of the collab for Honkai Star Rail. I mean, Honkai Impact III has always been incredibly small fan base, but they are absolutely loyal. So good for them. Convallaria dropped down to 3 million. I'll be honest, I can't say I'm surprised, bro. That game has the worst dailies out of any gacha game I've ever fucking played. I've never got on a gacha game to do its dailies and had a hard time trying to decide how to spend stamina. I got stamina and I'm like, I don't want to spend it on any of this shit. All of this shit looks like a waste of stamina. It was crazy, man. So I think Convallaria has some improvements to do with its stamina system and its dailies. Other than that, the story is fucking peak. That story was fire. It brought back nostalgic memories of my childhood playing turn-based games. So, hopefully they kind of like, fix up just some of the day-to-day shit you do. Tower of God. And then we have Ecocalypse Scarlet Covenant. Hold on, bro. When did I post my sponsor? This game is insane. 1 month ago, 18K for Ecocalypse? Ecocalypse? Insane, bro. Yeah, we'll take that, man. That's awesome. Good for them. We got ReZero. I don't think anything else down here is of my that is insane, but they put a skull. They put a skull emote. Review Star. Anytime I ever hear Review Starlight, I immediately think of Yango, bro. Damn, Dej. Sad face, GG's, womp womp, boys. All right, that's gonna conclude all of my thoughts. I think I covered everything. Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero, Love in Deep Space. I did cover that, right? I did. Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. I don't think I can be fucked to play that game. Don't be mad at me. It's just not my taste. Hey, it's just not my taste. What can I say, guys? Guys, I'm a straight man. I'm not gay, okay? I'm not about to play a game with a bunch of hot dudes in it telling me, oh, yes, touch right there. It's fine. I'm just not going to do that, okay? But if you guys are having fun playing it, if you're having a good time, that's wonderful. You will not see Gacha Smack touch that fucking game. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.